Welcome to Chop Shop Motors. My name is Clay, and I want to give you an update on Shelby's 72 F100 Buffy and the progress we're making on the motor. So I'll give you a quick peek of what we've accomplished over the last week or so, and hopefully this afternoon I'm going to make a little more progress on it. So let's take a look. So here we have the 302 out of the 72 Ford F100. This motor did just fine for a lot of years. It actually ran good. It ran decent. It had some other maladies, so it was time for a freshen up, and so out it came. You've probably seen that in some of the other videos. What we have here is the going back together stage. So short block is done. The block was cleaned. A reground crank was put in it. New rods, mains, cam bearings. I put a 268H camshaft in it. It's got a new Mellings high volume pump, a new pickup, a 1010 crank. I didn't want to have any issues with it and have to deal with it, problems with some parts that were marginal. The timing cover was less than perfect, and it wasn't leaking, but it wasn't far from leaking. And I didn't have a good one, so I bought a new timing cover. They're cheap enough. The problem is they're not really made for any particular year. It's sort of a combination of things to make it work on a lot of years. So where that comes into play is right here. There's a big boss for the crank sensor on the cover that I bought, and so I needed to cut that off so I could use this timing mark. If I would have used an earlier timing mark that came off of this bolt and went down to here, across here, it would have been fine. But on this motor it uses this timing mark, and that was in the way, so I cut it off and spent some time just to make it so the right timing mark would work. So that's now a new timing cover, so that should last for a while, hopefully. And we put a new water pump on it. It's a 60 over motor, and that is a lot for a small block Ford. The good thing is I know this motor ran cool, and we didn't have any issues heating. It's got a pretty big radiator in it because it's a Ford truck, so that helps. And so we really shouldn't have any trouble with it. The harmonic balancer was marginal, so here's the harmonic balancer for it. And it was usable, but boy, it was really starting to show its age. And so when I was at the other shop, I was pretty sure I had another one. I had a couple. One was equally as crappy, just in a different way. And then I had this last one here, which is going to be good. So we'll get this cleaned up. It's definitely not new, but the rubber's good and it hasn't moved, and it just looks a little crappy right now. We'll get it cleaned up and put it on today, and that'll be awesome. We'll have pretty much all the pieces that need to get found for it. Here are the heads. I will build the heads today. Yeah, I'll build the heads today. That's kind of the charge. And we'll get the heads, the oil pan. There's all the valves. Pans over there in the corner. We'll get everything buttoned up and get that motor signed, sealed, and delivered today. That'll be one great check off of this F100 build. The other piece that I also picked up was the third member that's going to go in the truck. So a couple good pieces of progress happened this weekend on it, and having the motor all done will be fantastic. That's it for the update so far. Let me button some pieces up and bring you back. So here we are, a little bit farther down the path of motor being complete. I cleaned up that grimy old harmonic balancer, got it prepped. It looks really good. It's going to do the job. and got the pan on, got all the surfaces cleaned and everything torqued down. So bottom of the motor is done. We'll give it obviously a nice fresh coat of Ford blue to go in this 72, so it'll look pretty. The next thing is to build the heads. So I've got a little bit of work to do to start some valves, and if I can, I'll keep plugging away on those. We'll see if I get them today. I don't know. There's a few other things I have to do, as just like all you guys. There's lots of stuff. I lost a little time this morning, and that's all good. So that's what Sundays are for. And if I don't come back, this is Clay for Chop Shop Motors, and we'll see you on the next project.